Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and Fiori training. In the last session, we discussed about how do we create or consume an OData service. There are different methods we have discussed about consumption of an OData service. In today's session, we will go ahead and talk about how can you connect an SAP server which is exposing an OData service from our SAP Web IDE. We will also talk about how can we consume such an OData service as part of our Fiori application which we had created. Let us go ahead and have a quick look once again to the OData service which we had seen yesterday in the provided gateway server. It was GW sample underscore basic. This is the OData server we have, and we will now go ahead and see what all the different objects are there inside this OData service. So as we all know, we have different entity sets including products, business partners, sales orders, and sales order items. Now, what we also missed out in last class is to let me just go and try now. Just trying to connect. Yeah, we had also forgot to look at the association concept. What's this association concept? So you saw that OData service is actually mirroring your database table. For every corresponding database table, you have an OData service which is exposing an entity set. So for business partner, product, everything we had an entity set. Similarly, let's imagine you have a sales order table and you have sales order items table. There are two different tables where the data is stored. The OData service, however, also exposing an entity set, one for sales order and one for sales order item separately, entity sets. So when what happens is first user will see sales order, and now let's imagine you have a Fiori application where you are loading all the sales orders on the left hand side in the master screen. On the detail screen then, however, you are showcasing the sales order items. Now one question to all of you, do you think it makes sense to load all the sales orders? Do you think it makes sense to load all the sales order and all the items of each sales order? Do you think it makes sense to load all sales order and all items of sales order in one shot? Of course, doesn't make sense. So first thing which we learned was paging. We only load, let's say, initial 20 sales orders. Now the second thing is on the detail screen, you got to load the items corresponding to the selection on the master. User selected one particular sales order. Only that sales order item you got to load, right? It doesn't make sense to load items of all 20 sales order also. It only makes sense to load items of a sales order corresponding to the one which is selected by user in the master screen. That should be a good performance of the application. So how can you load only the items of the selected sales order? All right. So let's have a quick look at our OData service once again. So we have two entity set. One is sales order and one is sales order item. You can see here sales order line item set, and there's one more called sales order. There will be one more for sure called sales order. So likewise, you have two entity set. One is sales order set, one is sales order line item set. So let me just first load sales order set. Dollar format equals to JSON. I will show all of sales orders which are there in the system. So it's just making a call, and now you see you got some sales orders from the backend. I think there are large number of sales orders. It's taking a lot of time. So let's restrict it down. %, dollar top equal to 2. And I see you got two sales orders on your screen. It has got two sales orders for us. Now you see in this sales order entity set, we do not get item detail yet. Okay. We have not yet received the items detail in the sales order. We've only got the sales order header information. We did not receive the item details. The item details, however, is available in another entity set called sales order items. Yeah. So let me just pick it up, go back, and I'll say sales order items set. And I'll say again dollar format, ampersand dollar top equals to 2. Sorry, dollar format is JSON. Now it will get only 2 items. But I don't know which items it has got. Whether it has got the sales order items for my sales order X or sales order Y. I have no clue. Okay. I think there is items S is also there. Sales order items set. Line item. The entity name correctly. And yes, you got line items. We don't know which sales order they belongs to. So now if you want sales order items for a particular sales order, of course you got to do a filtering on the top. Yeah. So there's lot of operation required to load the items of a corresponding sales order to display in the detail list. Now this was simplified with the help of association concept. Just the way you have foreign key relationship between sales order and sales order item table, at O data level, we have a concept of association. It defines a relationship between two entities. The benefit of this association, the system knows how to retrieve the data for corresponding entity set. That is the biggest benefit. Now, let me show you the magic. So I have got a couple of sales order. Let me get a single sales order. So guys, another interesting thing, how to get single record data using OData service. So let's see that. So let's write down a couple of operations again. So yesterday we saw getting multiple records all via top, skip, filter. How to get single record based on key. So that can be done easily. You have to use entity set name, parenthesis, your key value. This is how you can get single record information. So suppose I want to get one single sales order. The key for sales order entity set is sales order ID. So I take the sales order ID, I go on the top, and now I'll say sales order set, parenthesis, and pass the sales order ID over there. No need of top. It's going to get exactly the single record. It's like select single based on primary key. Press enter. Now it's searching that particular sales order with the key. Of course, your key has to come in single quote. That is one mistake I did. Press enter. And now it's going to get exactly that sales order. You see, you got exactly that sales order. It's like select single star, what we do in above. Yeah. So this is one more interesting thing. And now once you got that single sales order, look it down. You see two line items. There is something called navigation property. What is this called? This is called navigation property. Okay. This is called navigation property. It allows you to navigate to the dependent entity sets. So sales order has a dependent entity set called line items. And you see there's a navigation property created so that we can navigate to the dependent data. This is only possible provided you have an association exist. If there is no association, it is impossible to create a navigation property. So association is mandatory and then navigation property can be created. So that's why association is a relationship and navigation is a property to propagate to the navigation. Okay, you can propagate to the navigation. And now watch out the magic. Watch out the magic. I just have to say my sales order entity set with the key slash this navigation property name, two line items. You can also see it here as a link. You see below it's a link. So sales order set, it's number slash line items. If I just click on the link or just type in the same thing on the top, two line items, it's case sensitive. Enter. You will see it will automatically go to the line items entity set and fetches only the line items, only and only those line items which belongs to this area, this particular sales order. You see, sales order number is this. So सारा line item उसी sales order का आया है. Only for that sales order it has got all the line items for me. This is a biggest advantage in a Fury application. When you have a master detail scenario, you will never load all the data of line items, all the dependent data in one shot. You only load when users choose a particular record. So how to use navigation property? Entity using association. I hope it is clear now to everybody. Association and navigation
So
property.
Anubhav, sir, for all the master data relationship, we have like this. For all the
We
master
should
data relationship.
we should build our OData like this. As I told you, ideally
Okay.
there is nothing like magic. Somebody has built it.
Okay.
That's why we are able to use it.
Let's see.
So
Okay.
when you are doing bowling tomorrow, you should do bowling like this. I taught you batting. I'm slowly taking you towards the bowling. So when you are going to do bowling, when you're going to design your own data, make sure you also design the same way. Learn from standard, guys. Nobody will point out on your work. If anybody point out on your work, you have very easy thing to say. Standard भी ऐसे ही काम करता है. मैं क्या करूं? मेरा क्या गलती है? Right? Make sense or not? You are
Yep.
developing something. Of course, you don't have experience, but what can you do? How can you be sure that what I did is correct? Follow standard. Look at the standard. How the standard is doing. We should do the same. And that's what my training does. It helps you to understand every single standard, every single bit of it, so that you will be able to build something according to the standard. Okay, my always focus is also doing standard. Many times you think, Anubhav, you're doing this thing in this way, why not this way? You can do it also this way, absolutely fine. Yes, you can do it in that way, but it's always a good practice to follow standard. Very, very important to follow standard. Without following standard, there will be a problem. Some or the other day somebody will point on our work. So it's better to stick to standard, what a standard says. Yeah. Okay, let's come back. So that's about more important aspects which we missed out in the last class. Luckily, I remember and I explained it just now. And now let's go ahead and see how can we connect our SAP Web IDE to SAP OData service. We need a connection. So first of all, how it works. SAP Web IDE cannot directly talk to SAP OData server. The reason is you are running SAP Web IDE on what? You are running on local host, and SAP OData server is having some host. In this case, what is the host name? It is SAP UI5 Dev Center, SAP ES5 Dev Center. This is the host. Every browser, every browser has a policy called CORS. What is it called? CORS. You might have seen this kind of error in the console many times while practicing something called, talking to some external site. It stands for cross origin resource sharing. What does it mean? It says if you are running a server, if you're running something on one particular host name, the moment you try to make a call to a cross host from here, okay, and if this website which you are making a call from your website, okay, doesn't allow CORS, cross origin resource sharing, CORS filter, if it is not marked star in this website, so this website is secure. and they have a saying they are saying CORS filter is not star. Okay, not a star. Then what happens is, the moment from browser you make a call, browser will give you an error saying that CORS violated. This is what browser will do. Browser will say CORS violated. That's what browser will do. It's a browser policy. So what do we do in this case? In these cases, we use something called a proxy. Okay, and that is the reason why Orient server is used. Orient.exe is used to work as a reverse proxy. What it does, any OData call which you have to make, you don't have to directly make that OData call from your browser to this gentleman, because the moment from the browser you make that call, browser will give you an error. So what you do is you make this call from browser, from your web IDE which is running in the browser to this Orient server. And in this Orient server, you will define a configuration. You saying that I want to call Falana server. I want to call SAP server. And this then Orient server makes a call. So tell me, we are actually cheating browser. We are kind of cheating the browser. We are telling all the calls we are making to you only. We are not making to anywhere else. So browser will see all the calls. Your local host is running web IDE, and your OData call which you will also make will be also local host only. But this local host is your Orient server. In the Orient server, there is a configuration, and this configuration is then making a call to the OData server. It's called a proxy. It's working as a proxy. Okay, so what is proxy? You are avoiding direct call to some cross domain. You are avoiding that because browser won't permit you. Yeah, so that's why you are making a call to a server. From the server you are making a call to another server, another OData which is allowed, and then you get the response from here. After getting the response from here, then this response is passed back. So this is a proxy. It's a middleware kind of thing. Yeah, it's sitting in the middle. Yeah, in the childhood days when I used to go school, teacher used to take attendance. Anubhav, yes sir. Raghav, yes sir. Ashutosh, yes sir. And then my best friend who never used to come, who very often used to come to school, and when my teacher used to spell his name, Sumit, I used to say, yes, sir, like this. So that's a proxy. You are kind of saying proxy rather than actually doing the same thing yourself. You are doing via a proxy, right? So rather, my Sumit friend, he rather than giving attendance, he is proxying the attendance via me. So actual job your browser is not doing. Here the call is not made by browser. It's made by the proxy which is there in Orient server. This is the reason why we need an Orient server to act like a reverse proxy. And guys, this concept is there in every industry, every programming language, whichever platform you see, wherever you go, this reverse proxy concept will always be there. Because browser has a policy called CORS, which doesn't allow you to make a direct call to any OData server. You cannot do it. Just to give a quick glimpse, let me give a try here. So I take this OData server URL. Okay, I copy that and I come here and I'll probably run our example, my first Fury app. Let me execute it, and then just to show you what kind of error you will see if you directly make a call. So JavaScript runs on the browser, hence any call you're making, it's going directly via browser. So let's come here, console, and now I'll just say var o data model, new sap.ui.model.odata model, and I pass in the URL over here in the OData model. So creating an OData model, and now you see, can you see? Wow, there you go. Has blocked by CORS policy. Can you see this issue, guys? Has been blocked by CORS policy. I just tried to create an OData model to communicate to this server from my browser, and browser blocked it. Allow cross origin. You see? Access allow cross origin. Are you all clear, guys? What is that browser does? Browser does that. So your server is saying it is not allowing any cross origin policy. Any call which is coming to server directly from some different domain, the browser is actually restricting it. Browser doesn't allow that. Okay, that's why you get this CORS issue, guys. Always, this is something like browser security, guys. Okay, so now the reason for that security is I can maliciously send any call from any host. Suppose I open a facebook.com and I open console and now I make a call to SAP server. Okay, what will it show in the server logs? In the server logs, it will show Facebook has made a call to you. But did Facebook really made a call to you? No. It is somebody who went to Facebook, open F12, and then from there they made a call to your server. That's why anybody can blame on anybody. I can go to google.com and I can press F12 and I can make a call to SAP server and destroy something in SAP server, let's say. Then SAP will go and sue Google, right? Because SAP don't have a clue who has made that call. SAP will think like it has call come from the Google server because on the URL here the server host was Google. So that's the reason browser doesn't allow. It's a security policy. So you have to make a call via server all the time. That's why we have a concept of Orient server which has a proxy. Now guys, coming back, how do you create this configuration? Okay. So Orient server, how do you create this configuration? SAP server configuration. So that is something we need to see. Also, how will your project, how will your Fiori project talks to this configuration? There has to be a relationship. So point one, the first activity you need a configuration. Are you clear, guys? Step number one, you would need a configuration. This is step number one. We all need this. Step number two, we would need something called another thing in our project. Inside our project, we need something to talk to this configuration, right? How will system know that I need to talk to this configuration, right? How will your project know that I have to talk to this configuration? There's something called SAP server. How does system know, guys? And for that, we use something called neo application. अभी तक छुपा हुआ था ये कॉन्सेप्ट, अभी निकल के झटाक से बाहर आ गया. जैसे ही इसके बात हुआ ये बाहर आके अपना रूप दिखा दिया. ओके, सो जैसे ही इसका जरूरत पड़ा ये तुरंत बाहर आ गया लपक के और अपना रूप दिखा दिया इसने कि ये क्यों यूज होता है. होप यू गाइज आर क्लियर. To talk to any Orient server configuration, we use Neo app JSON, and this configuration is stored in Orient directory, which is in your local computer. Which is this directory? Of course, my D drive, SAP Web IDE, folder. If you go to this folder, Eclipse, config master, service destination. Here you will see we have to create that configuration. You see I've already created couple of configuration to my HANA Access server, to my OData server which I'm offering. So I've created this. So this configuration file is also delivered to you in the training blog. You can download and use it directly. But now the catch is we will see creating this configuration manually. How do we create this? Okay, we need to see that in SAP Cloud Platform, the same destination, it's called destination. This configuration is actually known as destination. Technically, it is named as destination. So this is also created in SAP Cloud Platform via destination thing. I will show you that as well. Destination बोलते हैं इसको. So we have to create a destination. How many destination per server does exist? How many destination per server does exist? एक सर्वर के लिए कितना डेस्टिनेशन बना सकते हो? Multiple you can create. There is no limit. You can create multiple destinations for one server. The reason? Anybody, can you tell me the reason? What is the reason? The reason is, have you seen in some companies, you might have seen छोटा company होता है, they use multiple clients, one client for development and one client for quality. Same system they will use, one client for development and one client for testing, right guys? Do you all know that? Some of you might have seen in your company, right or wrong? One, they have multiple clients. So one destination you will create per client. You need one destination per system per client. Is that clear, everybody? That is why you can have multiple destination per system, because one destination per client you will be creating. कैसे बनाएंगे अभी इसको? नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज हाउ डू वी मेक दिस डेस्टिनेशन, हाउ डू वी मेक अनुभव? आपने कॉन्सेप्ट तो बता दिया, आगे तो बताइए कैसे बनाएंगे. यस, आई एम कमिंग टू दैट. होल्ड ऑन योर क्वेश्चन, आई कैन रीड योर माइंड. दिस इज व्हाट इज गोइंग ऑन इन योर माइंड. Some of your mind frequency is so fast that you want to go beyond faster, faster, faster. But I need to make sure that everybody is in sync. That's why I have to go little slow, because I have weak student also who can understand slowly. I have strong student who can understand faster, and I have mediocre students who are also understanding in a normal way. So my flow has to be according to all of you, not just one of you. So let us go ahead and see what are all the steps to be able to create this destination. So let me go back, and now I'll just come to SAP Web IDE personal documentation, SAP Web IDE personal edition destination. Search for that on Google. It takes you to the documentation for SAP Web IDE personal edition and connect it to the system. Yeah. So blogs.sap.com, this is what I trust the most. Or you can also directly go to the documentation. So just a block. Yeah, and we can go to the help documentation. So something which starts with help.sap.com, that is the correct one, guys. Do not even trust anything else, because everything can be obsolete. So let's search for help.sap.com, and now we should take, here it is, upgrade SAP Web IDE personal edition. Help.sap.com, install Web IDE personal edition. So something related to this. Let's go in inside. This is the latest and greatest documentation for everything, guys. Always refer this. Always. Oops, why it is coming in Chinese? Go on the top. यहाँ पे English डालना पड़ेगा. Let's put US hyphen EN. US is the America, and hyphen EN is the English language. Now it loads, of course, in English. I guess so. It's asking my username password. That's okay. Okay. Now it got in English language. Now let us see what can we do. So come down, you see installation, setup, start, uninstall, import, connect remote system in SAP Web IDE personal edition. This is the one we are looking forward for. Connect remote system. Just click on that. Come down, you will see a sample destination file here. ये चाहिए हमको, ठीक है? इसको copy paste मारो, उठा लो इसको, copy this. Come and create a notepad file. I created a notepad file. I got all the properties. So let's write this property. I can say my ES5 system. Okay. Now, of course, guys, this destination you will be creating either for ES5 or my server, or in your company, you will have your own server. Okay. So the beauty here is your local web ID can talk to your company SAP server. Okay. Just put that destination, the type as HTTP, fine, no problem. Trust all is true. Authentication, no authentication. Name. Here you put 3-digit server ID. In our case, it is ES5. Okay. Now, internet proxy is internet. URL. Let's get the URL of the server. I go back to our server. This is the URL. Only get the URL, server details. Sometimes in your company, you will have server and port number. So you will have host colon port number. Okay. 8080 like this. So that you can see SMICM transaction. You can see the port number. Okay. You can go to server. You can see SMICM. वहाँ पे जाके port number देख सकते हो. Then web ID UJS. What is this? It is saying what is the purpose? Why are you creating this destination? What is the purpose? Why are you creating this destination? Please tell me. So this is what you have to see again in the documentation. It says these are all the uses. These are different purpose. Why somebody would connect web ID to the SAP server. One purpose is I want to create or deploy my Fury app in ABAP server. That is one purpose. So let's put that comma. Second, I want to use general purpose of OData, generic OData's functionality purpose. Put that. I want to execute my app using ABAP platform. Put that. I want to do development related to ABAP. I want to execute my Fiori app as if it's a BSP Fiori application. So these are all the different purpose I had put it now. Now web ID system, again it's 3-digit system ID. I would recommend you to put that, and then web ID enabled true. Now see the client. This is the client field. So that's why I was saying one destination, even one system, but multiple clients. So one destination per client. What is the client value? इधर तो नहीं दिख रहा है. Press F12, go to network tab, press enter, see the network call, look at the header, and we will identify what is the client it's making a call to. First, there must be some place where it must be having details about which client it is making a call. Of course, you will be knowing in your company what is the client you guys are using, right? So here we should see.
Client is 002, I guess, Anubhav. In
Yeah, yeah,
the it says somewhere. You see this one. Cookie, SAP user context SAP client 002. Cookie.
yeah. Let's search for it. And now I just click on this and you see it's searching here and you see SAP client value here. Yes. Okay. So this is how you can read in the network call, or you must be knowing which client you want to connect. That is the client value. Let's put 002 and we are ready. Now guys, many of you will definitely do this mistake and come to me, Anubhav, it's not working. I am not able to connect to my server. Anubhav, I'm not able to connect. What is the mistake you will do? All of you will do this mistake. The first mistake, some of you forget to put the name as same 3-digit ID for your server. This is first mistake which commonly people do. Second mistake, during saving this destination, you saved it in a wrong directory. You must save this in your whatever web ID directory, tips, config master, destinations. Here you must save it. Do not save anywhere else. Save it in this directory. That is second mistake you guys will do. So now I already have one ES5. Let me just make it older. And now I'll just save it ES5. Third mistake you will do, you will put a txt file at the end. You will put extension as txt. पक्का नहीं चलेगा, बिल्कुल नहीं चलेगा. .txt नहीं होना चाहिए. It should be just the file, just the server name ES5. It should not have .txt at all. Remember that it should not have .txt at all. It should should not have .txt at all. It should not have .txt at all. Okay, just do this ES5. Click on save. Now go to the directory and see. You see still it has a .txt at the end. Yeah. See the icon. Icon से पता चल रहा है text file है. ये .txt हटाना पड़ेगा boss. हटाना पड़ेगा. And sometimes you will again do a mistake. You will put instead of ES5 the 3-digit server ID. You will give some name here. You will give your own name. It will not work. You have to have 3-digit server ID ES5, which is mandatory. It should exactly match with the name you're putting here. Okay, this name it should match. Now suppose I'm creating for client 002. You can also do like this. You have to keep some name client 002 like this. You can put, this is the best practice I follow. This is the name. I save it and now just change the file also. Just check the file, open with notepad. यहाँ change हुआ नहीं हुआ, ये डालो. ES5 client 002 is the name. Same name you should give here. Okay, ES5 client 002, the same name we gave here, that is the correct destination. Okay, this is the one which we are using now. Now let us go back, restart our web ID. Just add this destination and restart your web ID window. Come back, just refresh. Restart means refresh, nothing else. Just refresh, it will pick up the destinations. It's just reloading. And now I'll show you some magic. Right click on workspace, new project from template, and now maybe I want to create a master detail application. Let's choose master detail application. Click on next. I give some name. I say my first PS5 app. This is real time guys, or real time coming inside. And now watch out, It's asking for a data connection. We created a destination and I just expand it and you see my ES5 system is popping up here. That was exactly the same description I gave in there. Click on that. It's making some call, you see, and voila, it's now asking me the username password for my ES5 system. I pick it up, I paste it here, and I will give my password for ES5. Click on OK, and watch out, watch out. Boom, there you go. It has loaded all the OData services from the ES5 system, which are all there in the system. Just now we saw there is a sample basic server service. I just searched for it and I found it. Luckily, select this up, OData service, and now in the next step, it will ask all the entity sets which are there in this OData service. Next, now it's asking me how we want to create this master detail application. It's showing all the sections of the master detail application. I can now come here and I say title of my app. I can say manage my sales orders. Your namespace oft.fiori. Let's say I want to give this namespace and I'm working in SD department in my company. So I can say oft fiori SD. Description, this is to manage sales orders. Object collection, in the master screen, what do you want to display? So in master screen, I want to display sales orders. Sales order ID is the primary key. Title, I want to display sales order title as customer name who gave the sales order. Gross amount and currency code I want to display as a number unit. And now in the line items, I want to display line items entity set association, then line item position. Then I want each line item gross amount for each line item. Maybe I want quantity. I want line item title. Okay, line item title, I want material name in line item title. Do we have material name? Yes, we have product ID. And then I want gross amount, or maybe I want quantity and then quantity unit. Click on finish. Voila! Your Fury app is ready, man. Expand it up. Look at this. Look at this, man. Web app, controller folder, ITN folder, model folder, test folder, view folder, component JS, manifest JSON, test HTML. Do you know all these artifacts, all these folders? I taught you line by line in this entire course. Each and every folder, each and every file, scaffolding template, and complete design, which we learned in entire course, is now generated out of the box from this Fury Web IDE. That's why people using Web IDE. Complete Fury app is ready automatically. Yes, Sunny, it's automatically. सब कुछ बन गया अपने आप. Now you can start editing it based on your need. You add more views, more controller. You can go to manifest. You can add more routing configuration for the newly added views. Everything you can do it now. Complete thing, everything I taught you line by line, it is now generated. If you wouldn't have taken this training, you would have confused by this time and what is component.js, what is manifest, what is new app I'm coming to, what is view, what is formatter. Yeah, what is formatter, what is model.js, right? What is controller, what is I18n? Yeah, all these things you would have got confused. However, just to inform you guys, the test folder and local service, these two folders are covered in my advanced course, not in the current course, because this includes OPA 5 test. So local service includes a mock server concept and test includes OPA 5 test and unit test using JavaScript. Yeah, these are OPA 5 test. OPA stands for one page acceptance test. They are used for integration testing. Okay. Just like you create ABAP units. Similarly, they are creating OPA 5 and unit test covered in my advanced training, including mock server. Now let's execute this app. I just say run, and now it's going to pop up again the user credentials, because it's now talking to the OData server with the ES5 server. What we have, it'll ask me the username password. Yes, there you go. It's asking, it's connecting to my server. enter, and it's loading up all the data over here. Let's see. Boom, there you go. You can see it has got all the sales orders loaded on the left side. On the right hand side, for each sales order which you select, the corresponding line item is getting loaded. Now let me click on a sales order. Line item will change. You can see it's loading up the next set of line items for every selection, every click of sales order. That's the beauty, guys. And it has created a responsive Fiori app. Ever you want to start any Fiori app, new Fiori app in company, start with template and keep enhancing it, because the basics are generated out of the box for you. F12, switch to the device mode just to see its responsive capabilities. I switch to the device mode, and now you can see this is how responsive Fiori app looks like. In a mobile, you can just have this nice button on the top. You can select anything. Corresponding data for line item is getting loaded below. See how beautiful this app looks like. Yeah, that's the beauty of this Fiori app, guys. And it's all talking to real Fiori application. It's all talking to real backend system. And now the magic, once again, let's monitor the network calls. So now I select one of the sales order. You can see it has made a call to the server. All the OData call comes as $batch. Okay. And now you come inside. What do you think will happen when I select a sales order? Watch out, watch out. Sales order, the selected sales order slash the association name. See, association name. It's first reading the count. Count for what? Because it has to display here in this table the total line items. That's why it's reading the count. The next, come down. You see sales order, again 2 line items. Please get me all the line items. Dollar top and dollar skip 100 tak leke aao. Are you clear, guys? How system is making this OData call to the backend automatically. You don't have to build these calls, man. It's all done by SAP UI5 OData model, which I will demonstrate in a minute. By that model, it is being done. It is all being done by SAP UI5 OData model. You don't have to do this call. Imagine if you have to build this app via HTML, you have to take care of all these things via JAX calls. But here SAP UI5 so smart. It is so smart that it knows what to talk to OData. अपने आप OData से communicate करता है, हमको नहीं कराना है. We just have to create a OData model and do the binding. Everything will be done automatically. So is that clear, everybody? The basics of creating app using template, connecting our SAP Web IDE to any OData server. Now, guys, as I told you, you will again do mistake. Follow my instruction carefully. I will not answer your query if you are repeating the same mistake which I'm teaching in the course. So you have to be very careful while creating destination. Again, I repeat, use the template. You can also use this file. I will upload this file into our training blog. Many of you will do mistake. यहाँ पे HTTPS डाल देते हैं, कभी यहाँ पे S डाल देते हैं, कभी यहाँ पे S नहीं भूल जाते हैं, कभी कुछ पोर्ट नंबर डाल दिया अपनी मर्जी से. ऐसा ऐसा मिस्टेक करते हैं. And then when you compare it, then you will realize, अच्छा, this is the mistake. So be careful. You can, best way is you can download my file, change it with your server address, upload it back in the destination folder and test it. It will work. खुद करना है तो अच्छे से करना. The way I showed you, copy it from the web IDE and then use it. Now coming to SAP Web IDE full stack, which you are using in SAP Cloud Platform. By any chance, those who are using it, you can go to cloudplatform.sap.com. That's where you must have got SAP Web IDE full stack being used. So there, how do you create this destination? Because यहाँ पे तो कोई file तो नहीं है, right? We don't have a file over here. So how do you do that? So here, let me just quickly show you. I just quickly log into my SAP Cloud Platform account, and basically it will take me to the Cloud Platform cockpit. So I'm just getting into the SAP Cloud Platform cockpit now. Neo trial. And now here I go to my destinations. डिट्टो सेम चीज करना है. ये देखिए, डिट्टो सेम चीज. Ditto same cheese, guys. Ditto same cheese. Ditto same cheese, guys. Ditto same cheese. Ditto same cheese, guys. Ditto same cheese. No file needs to be created. Just add a new destination. Same property. Ditto same cheese. Just put your destination name ES5 TLNT, whatever is the client you wish to. HTTP protocol, description, my game. Game is mine. Just give the URL. What is the URL? This is the URL. Get in here. Internet, no authentication. Just add here OData web ID usage, web ID enabled, and web ID system. ES5 is the system. Enabled is true. Web ID usage. Kaka uses hai. Kaka uses hai bhaiya. Just get that. Go back here. हमऊ को बताओ का यूजेज है ई सब यूजेज है उठाई लो इसको कॉपी मारो just copy that up paste it here click on save you are done game is yours guys game is yours check the connection boom there you go the connection is successful hardly 1 minute job and do you know to reach to this expertise I spent hours and hours. My first destination which I created, I was able to use it after 2 days, struggling day and night with it. 2 days it took me to be successfully able to connect it. Some or the other mistake I was doing, my typos, my mistakes, only I am responsible. But I learned a lot. After fixing this up, I learned a lot. And now you can go to SAP Web ID full stack and you will see this game is mine destination over there. Let me go to services. So those who are using this one, only for them I'm telling this. Those who are not using this one, it's okay, absolutely fine. Some of you are attending my advanced training. In my advanced training, I've taught what is this? This thing what you're seeing on your screen. This is called SAP Cloud Platform. What is SAP Cloud Platform? What are these things? Everything I've covered in my advanced training, guys. Not here in detail. Just for those who are using it, I just explained it here. Yes, please.
How we actually enable that, because like if you go back, your enable button is, so I was not able to get
It's
that.
already enabled. It's already
No,
enabled.
but by default it will be not enabled.
So then there will
we
be
have to
enable
do.
button which will come here और वो enable button पे click करते ही enable हो जाएगा.
पर वहाँ पे बटन नहीं आ रहा है अनुभव, मैंने चेक किया था, मैं इसलिए मैं पूछा, मुझे लगा कि
We will
आपने
see
ऑल.
that. We'll see that. I'll tell you guys one quick secret. See, this button is coming, but it is not enabled. You all know UI5, isn't it? Right click, inspect this element. I'll show you. Disable button enable नहीं है ना? इसको enable करते हैं. चलो. I'll show you some power of UI5. So this is our UI5. You see here the disabled property is disabled. उड़ा दो इसको down से. Enter करो. Right click. You can make this button also enabled actually. Area disabled is true. You see this property also is causing an issue. And this SAPM button disabled class. And you see, I can now click on this button. That's the power of UI5, guys. That's the power of SAP UI5. I don't want to do that. Otherwise, I have to wait 72 hours again to make it enabled. So that's the beauty. Learning is a great capability. UI5, I saw on one of the bank website, there was a button, order your checkbook. I ordered a checkbook about like 3 days back. Okay. And now that button is disabled because bank policy is if you order a checkbook, next 7 days you can't order the next one. I went to that bank website, that button was disabled. I went into the DOM, I changed the property, and then I ordered another checkbook. And now bank guys are thinking, how the hell this guy have made 2 checkbook order within 7 days? Our policy doesn't allow. How did the hell? They are finding a bug in their website. Their entire IT team is looking forward for it. That's what happens, guys. I ordered 2 checkbooks now, and they are all dispatched. I got 2 messages from the bank. Your checkbook has been dispatched. And then they call me, Anubhav sir, how did you order 2 checkbook? Our system doesn't allow me. I said, maybe some bug in your system. Check it out. How do I know? Right? And I have done a DOM change at runtime, make that button enabled for ordering a checkbook. And I've got another checkbook also. And luckily they don't charge me for that now. I said, it's your system issue. Why should I care? Yeah. I will not tell them. The system has to be robust. It should not be a DOM change, man. Okay. Similarly, if you're saying button is not enabled, it must be there in the DOM. Check it out. You can make it enable. You can do that trick. Anyway, we'll check the issue legally, how authentically you can see that button enabled. But by the way, coming back here, similar screen, same web ID over here. Now you can create, once again, create a project from the template. Right click, say new, project from template. Just choose any template. I don't care. Give some name just to showcase. Yeah, give something. The next, the main thing which I want to showcase is the destination. So come to the service catalog drop down, and game is mine. Game is mine, guys. Always game is mine. You can see game is mine. Asking my credentials. Oh yes, let me give my credentials, please. There you go. And
So Anubhav, the personal
boom, there you
edition
go.
you
You
said
can see it has connected from SAP Web ID Cloud also to the server. Yes, please.
the personal edition you said is going to be discontinued from January 1st. So can we still use it because it's downloaded?
No. Web ID personal edition will not be discontinued. Web ID in the cloud will be discontinued. If you come here to Web IDE in your trial account, there are 2 Web IDs you will find. See here, this Web ID and this Web ID full stack. So this gentleman will be discontinued. Personal edition, I don't know the roadmap yet by SAP. There's no clarity on that. I think they would give something. But this Web ID in the cloud will be discontinued. This will be the future. Actually, no difference. It's just an advanced version. When you come to my advanced Fury training, you will understand more in detail because we are doing this over there in detail. You will get full feature list of this Web ID full stack. Those who are attending my advanced training, they can put some light. We have cloud workflow feature inside. We have multiple workspaces. We can do of course, latest things which I will be showcasing. We can do metadata reload. We can load the mock data. There are lots of options, you can migrate your project with one click. There are lots of features in Web ID full stack. You can connect to Cloud Foundry account to do native HANA development using HDI containers. There is a lot you can do. You can create calculation views which are graphical modeling. All the calculation which we use, which you create in HANA Studio, can be now done with Web ID full stack. So it's flooded with feature, fully loaded. That is the future for the tooling for entire SAP. Even ABAP on cloud is coming, that will also use Web ID full stack. That is the
So
strategy.
Anubhav,
This will be the development tool for future, guys. Yes.
I have a question regarding that course filter you suggested. That filtering is happening at browser level or the OData server level? That I'm not able to understand.
You mean to say CORS policy?
Yes,
See, this is the
CORS
browser
policy
level.
when you
Browser
got.
does that. Browser tracks from which URL you are running your application. What is the URL of your application? Browser is tracking it. And if you make a cross
Okay.
browser call, cross domain call, see what is the domain? बहुत simple है समझना. अच्छे से समझना, फिर से बताता हूँ. Come back here. What is the URL you are running your website? According to the browser, what is the URL you are running your current website? Localhost, right? According to the browser, you are running a website on localhost. Now, from the same browser window, you are trying to make a call to which host? A different host, right? Isn't that a different host? Is this matching or not?
Yes.
It is a different host.
No.
This is what
Yes.
browser is not allowing. Browser see you are running currently on localhost, and from here localhost you are trying to make a call to direct across origin. Directly another domain you're
O-
making a call. This is
Okay. So by maintaining the destination, we make our browser aware of that
no,
particular
we cheated
destination,
our
right?
browser. by maintaining the destination, what did we do? This destination is maintained at server level. Orient server को मिल जाता है ये. And now from the browser, we are always talking to Orient server, because from browser, we are always talking local host, right? Local host, we are talking
Okay.
from browser. Local host means Orient server. In Orient, I have a configuration file. So any OData call which is now going, it is going always to the Orient server first. From the Orient server, it is redirected to the actual OData server. And then from here, whatever response is coming, that we are giving it to our browser, again localhost. If you watch out now the network call, you will observe it will not make a direct call to our server. It will still make a
So
call to
Anubhav,
localhost. Please let me
we
complete.
are
I
able to
just
make a
wanted to
call.
quickly show this. Let me complete this. I'll come to your questions. Just give me a second. Now watch out here. I make a call. Watch out here. You see this call which is gone. See here. The actual call gone to what? Localhost only from the browser. So we cheated the browser. We are telling browser, I'm तो local host से बात कर रहा हूँ. मैं तो local host से बात कर रहा हूँ. You are telling the browser, I'm still talking to localhost, and you see further on, this call is gone to this actual OData server. So it's actually localhost you are talking from the browser. Browser will not give you the error. But behind the scene, there is a destination. In the Orient server, there's a configuration in Orient server which understand this. And how does the Orient server know that when you're making this particular call, it should redirect via that destination? That is done in Neo app, which we'll see in the next class. Okay, that end-to-end picture dots I will connect in the next class. But right now, just understand you're cheating the browser. You are making all the calls to localhost.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Yes, Jay, please ask your question. Deepak or Jay, who was that?
Actually, this is Deepak. So the question I have is, that's the reason why Orient server is installed on our system, so that it will have
There are
the
two
local host.
purposes. There are two purposes for Orient server. One is any web application which runs in browser, it mandatorily needs a server, right? You design any web application, except until unless it's a pure HTML, you don't need any server. But if it's an application which is doing request response, then you must need a server. Now you remember the days, or you might have seen people using Java development or website development, they use Tomcat server or JBoss server, or these days we are using Nginx
Tomcat,
server. Yeah. So why do they do it? Because it's mandatory to have a server so that they can do request response. So server and a port name always will be there. Tomcat expose localhost 8080 is the default port for Tomcat. So this is one reason. Second, the server acts like a reverse proxy to avoid any CORS issues. Okay, this is the second purpose the server is offering. Okay, these are all the two main purpose why we are using Orient server. In fact, we had not built this Orient server. This was built by SAP Web IDE. They gave it to us so we can do local request response within our computer. Okay. Next question.
Like since it's on cloud.
In the cloud, the server is
Hello?
Linux server, which SAP have set. You see, if you come back to Cloud Home, you see this Neo trial. That is the infrastructure. It's a Linux computer in the cloud. Cloud is nothing but a very, very big network of internet where you have data centers across the globe. You have computers connected across the globe. That's what the cloud is. So here there is a computer. That computer inside have a server. And that server is responding us when we are making a call via Web IDE. So just for information, for Web IDE full stack, the foundation server is Apache Chi server. Sorry, Eclipse Chi server is the foundation for Web IDE full stack. For Web IDE, which is old Web IDE, the foundation is Orient server. Okay, and if you, that's why in Web IDE full stack, when you expand, sometimes you will see files, hidden files are there. I expand this, I click on this button to show hidden files. You will see .chi file. This is the configuration file, .chi file. This is the chi file because the foundation is Eclipse Chi server. All these details are explained in my advanced course, guys. I would highly recommend you to go with advanced course. After this current course, you must go with advanced course to get your knowledge level to extremely new heights. उसके बाद में मैं चैलेंज देता हूं, in your company you can act like a Fiori architect. You can act like a Fiori architect. Complete these 3 courses. Why am I yelling in almost every session? मुझसे नहीं पढ़ना है, मत पढ़ो. कहीं से भी पढ़ो. Download my source content. If you don't want to invest your money behind Anubhav, don't do it. Don't do it. You can download my source content from my website and see the list of topics which are there to learn. You can start learning yourself those list of topics. These 3 top courses you must go, guys. Today I'm yelling almost every class these things. Why am I doing it? Because I know where the industry is going. I have seen it changing. I've seen already. I know the pulse of industry where it is going. That is why I'm saying these 3 mandatory. Everybody should go. Whether you are a vapor, not a vapor, whether you are developer, not developer, you must attend these 3 things today. People from functional area, BW area, they are coming and attending my courses. Why? Because अब job role ही खत्म हो गया उनका. SAP have simplified everything with S4 HANA. There is no need for functional people. There is no need for BW people. They are all coming to this area. They have to come. No choice left. You are lucky that you are a developer. You are involved in coding since day one. तो आज भी आपका job बचा हुआ है. Ask people, they are losing their job, especially in US. Situation is so worst, they are not getting extensions. Companies are leaving people with H1B faster because of Trump policies, and very difficult situation, especially in US market. It's a panicking situation. People with the green card, somehow they are holding for 3 months, but still if they are not upgrading themselves, they are losing them. They're sending them back to India. Very, very difficult situation. Learning will save you guys. अगर अभी नहीं सीखा ना, लेट हो जाएगा, बहुत तकलीफ हो जाएगा आप लोगों को. इंडिया वाले हैं तो इंडिया में तो चलो फिर भी ठीक है, चल जाएगा काम. यहाँ तो चलता है, एटीट्यूड है, बट यहाँ भी प्रॉब्लम होगा आपको. अगर यूएस में हो तो और ज्यादा प्रॉब्लम होगा. This is the first course. Then second thing, you can jump anywhere. You can take any path. You can take this track or you can take this track. Yeah, whichever track you want, you can. If I am at your place, I would start with UI5 first. I go with ABAP on HANA and then I'll go with Fury Advanced. Yeah. Parallelly mat lena तीनों चीजें, confuse हो जाओगे like Lakshmi did. She took all the 3 things parallelly and now she is like struggling day and night, sitting on all 3 courses. Weekend she is coming morning for attending this one, evening she is coming for attending this one, and then regular weekdays attending this one. And so much of knowledge she is getting in one small cycle of a week, she is not able to appetite this much. So don't do this mistake. I would recommend, I'm not interested selling my courses. I'm interested solving your problems. I'm interested when you learn from me properly. This is what I want. What about
Anubhav,
non-ABAPers?
I have one doubt.
Yes, please.
Suppose I have a company system,
Okay. Okay.
right? So we can able.
Yes, you can able to connect. You can able to connect. You will be able to connect.
Okay.
Try this out today. You will be able to
Okay.
connect. Just as one catch. I'll come to that catch. Yes, please.
Anubhav, we are using HTTPS to call this one and with using a reverse proxy, right? But remember we used to call SAP links in the bootstrap, right? At that instance, how it did work?
I did not get. Can you please repeat?
No, in the bootstrap also we used to call the URLs, right?
We used to call SAP UI5.ondemand.com, right?
Yeah. So then how did it work? It is also in another website, right? For
Very good point. See here. SAP has whitelisted all calls on SAP CDN. They are saying we are allowing you to load SAP UI5 from anywhere in the world. They have seen cross origin filter in their server setting. They marked it star. Any call. So guys, browser is also very smart. It's not a dumb guy. Browser is a smart guy. What it does, it makes a call to this server and it asks server, hey server, are you allowing cross origin resource calls? If server say yes, star, whitelist everything, then browser will say, अच्छा allowed है, मैं देता हूँ ना response आपको. CORS is allowed in this case. So it depends on server. Server is whitelisting what do I allow CORS call from browser or not. And browser talks to the server first, asks server, hey server, are you allowing CORS? Server says, yes, I am allowing. Browser tell you, no problem. You can do that. if in this case it's going to this SAP server, hey server, are you allowing CRS call? This server said no, मैं तो नहीं allow करूंगा. Browser is immediately popping you an error.
I got it. Thank you.
Okay, this is what I told you at the beginning of the session. You missed out this part, I guess. So in case of UI5 SDK, sorry, UI5 is CDN, it's allowing CORS calls. That's why you are able to load. But ideally, tomorrow if they stop it, what is the solution you have? Your app will bump, right? If you are talking to CDN and tomorrow if they stop these, your app will start bumping. I have a solution for that. उसके लिए भी we will use Neo app JSON और हम लोग local SAP UI5 use करते हैं. Orient server comes with pre-built SAP UI5 framework, SAP core JS. We will use that. I will show you that in the next class. पूरा Neo app code करूंगा, उसके बाद ये कनेक्ट करूंगा, उसके बाद हमारा OData से मैनुअली कनेक्ट करके दिखाऊंगा. नेक्स्ट क्लास में करेंगे वो चीज. There's a lot to learn, guys. You're still at a very beginning stage.
Hey, Anubhav, in my company, they are not exposing the system outside. So HTTP will work.
But in your company network, one question to you. When you open your laptop, are you able to run the OData call from your laptop?
Yes, Anubhav, I also have same issue, but OData call I'm able to do.
If you are able to do this
Okay.
call, local web ID say you can connect. From SAP Cloud Platform, you can't connect. Local web ID say you can connect. To connect to SAP Cloud Platform, one quick thing, guys, what is happening here? Understand this. बहुत अच्छा लगेगा आपको समझ के. आज समझ में आएगा आप लोगों को ये हो क्या रहा है. This is your company network. No, this is your company network. What we call this? It's called intranet. Intranet means it's a closed network. Only your company laptops with VPN access can access this network, right? So when you are in your company, you are connected from home, you using VPN to connect to this intranet local network, company internal network. You are connected. यहाँ से मस्त चल रहा है. What is SAP Cloud Platform? Anytime you hear this word cloud platforms, they are all public network. They are all public internet. Public internet. Okay, it's actually internet. Can a company allow its local resources to be exposed on internet freely? कोई भी जाके आपकी कंपनी का डेटा रीड कर लेगा मारा टेबल का. कॉम्पिटिटर ने रीड कर लिया तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा किस रेट में माल खरीद रहे हो और किस रेट में बेच रहे हो. राइट. दिस हैज अ स्कोप वर्ल्ड वाइड. इट्स अ पब्लिक नेटवर्क. पूरा दुनिया इसको यूज करता है. इट्स अ वर्ल्ड वाइड नेटवर्क. नाउ व्हाट डू यू थिंक? इज योर कंपनी expose everything on internet? Depends. Some companies say we want to build cloud software. Then these servers which they buy, they are internet facing server. Directly cloud में होते हैं वो servers. उनका fixed IP address रहता है. They are internet based servers. They are called internet facing server. Like ES5. Okay. It depends how your company is investing. Internet facing server are costly and this is like ES5 which you see here. इसके लिए मुझे कुछ नहीं चाहिए. सीधा एक्सेस कर पा रहा हूं मैं. I can directly access this. Nothing is required. But if you are using in your company server, and the moment you come home, it doesn't work. So the moment you connect to VPN, it works. Which means it's an intranet. उसको internet पे ले जाने के लिए you need something. That is what called HANA Cloud Connector. This is required to expose your intranet resources on internet. HCC is required, but it's a very controlled access. It's not सब कुछ expose कर दिया, खुला छोड़ दिया, वो नहीं है ये. Here you can make restrictions. What level of restrictions, what level of access you want to expose. And you have to have a trusted relation with your SAP Cloud Platform account. Then only this data is exposed. Between SAP
So
Cloud
this
Platform
access
and
is
this,
firewall,
not
right?
publicly. Coming to this point, if you want to understand the whole game, how it is happening, watch my YouTube video. ये सारे क्वेश्चन मुझे 4 बार पूछे जा चुके हैं. हर चीज का YouTube वीडियो बना के रखा हुआ है. Anybody can go and learn this video. This is called SAP ABAP on HANA HANA Cloud Platform integration with CAL. Okay, watch this video. First part of this video, I'm actually explaining it. Actually, not even first part, ये CDS है कुछ यहाँ पे, and then I'll just show here. Yes, this one, starting from minute 30 minutes onwards. Starting 30 minutes onwards, I have showed how to connect your intranet server using SAP Cloud Connector. ये देखिए पूरा Cloud Connector install किया step by step, line by line. Every single thing I've taught, like spoon feeding. You see, installing Cloud Connector, logging to the Cloud Connector, whitelisting the IP addresses, telling your Cloud Connector account. पूरा explain किया है. Watch out this video, a game changer video. अगर कंपनी का डेटा इंटरनेट पे एक्सपोज करना है, ये ले लो, इसको चिपका दो, काम बना दूंगा आपका. Okay, tomorrow let's say a company say I want to build an application Fiori app publicly available, my employee can access publicly. ऐप बनाओ SAP क्लाउड प्लेटफॉर्म में, HANA क्लाउड कनेक्टर लगाओ, S4 HANA सिस्टम या ECC सिस्टम का डेटा एक्सपोज करो, Fiori ऐप को यहाँ डिप्लॉय कर दो. This is publicly available Fiori app. Anybody in the world can use this Fiori application. Okay, link is put in the PPT. PPT will be available after the class. You all can download. Let me put it however in the chat window. If you are building a public app for your company, a public Fiori app they want to build, exposing their ECC data, you need a cloud connector. Cloud connector तो लगेगा sir. Cloud connector तो लगेगा.
So cloud connector will be a premium account, trial
No,
account,
no, no, no.
right?
It's free. It's free. Watch that video, Prasoon. You will
Lifetime free. Okay. Okay, sure.
yes, सब
Thank
कुछ. Okay.
I have another question.
Yes, please.
So I have a Fiori application, UFI application, and in that, like 5 different users are logging in, and they are making some activities, like they're making a data call, or they are reading, they're doing a get call or a post call. So is there a way I can, the admin can track, like what activities they are doing?
Yes, you can track every OData call. For that, another concept is used called SAP SMP, SAP Mobile Platform. Here we have features for tracking of every OData call. If you are not using SMP, the best way is you can also track this by using NetWeaver Trace. But you want to do this tracing all the time. What you do is in your implementation of OData, okay, where you've done DPC extension, which I'll be explaining in soon. In this class, you can write the code, extra code to push that logging, right? You can write a code, write a Z table. In that Z table, you keep pushing what is the current username, what call he has made.
No, if I have like 500 users.
No, doesn't matter. All of them are using same OData service. In the OData service, just write the code, which keeps just pushing in the data in your Z table. कोई भी आए, साई यूनेम है ना वेब के अंदर, यूनेम लगा दो, कौन सा यूजर डाला.
No one about that won't work out. Like if I have like 25 auditors, 25 different
Oh,
applications.
oh my god, if you have so many applications, for every application you want to do, go with SAP mobile platform. This is called SAP mobility. Okay, right now I am not expertise on the same, but yes, कोई problem नहीं है sir, सीख लूंगा एक दिन. One day you will see me launching the course on SAP mobile platform. This also has a lot of other things like offline access, push notification for Fiori application, SAP SMP tracking, creating Fiori client, your customized Fiori client, creating APK, hybrid application development toolkit, creating native mobile-like capabilities, barcode integration. Some of you on that day, I remember Venkatesh, he was showing some piece of code where he has done barcode integration with Fiori app. That was the code he was showing. So that all comes under these things. Actually.
Yeah, so I have worked with offline devices with Capsule and Cordova. At that time, we have like SMP, but here in this client, we don't have a SMP, and they need a workaround to track all the changes, which is by the end users.
Then there's no choice, sir. You have to implement in OData. There's no way. At least I don't know a way. Maybe there may be a way, but I don't know then. Very specific requirement. Okay. But usually, whenever somebody changing, it's changing the data in the tables. So you do a logging at table. In ABAP system, we have a logging feature at database table level. There you will know which user changed what in what table. If you want
No,
to
here the scenario is here the scenario is like they might request for OData get call, but
get
they might
call.
not
So
be
get
authorized
call
or they might not be in
okay, I understood.
correct system.
Yeah, makes sense. Then you have to implement something. I'm not sure. SMP is the only way I know. Other than that, I don't know any other way.
Okay, okay, I'll explore and I'll get back to you.
Fine, cool. Great. So that's it for the day, guys. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. And another interesting class is planned. And have a nice day. On 19th, we'll not have a class. Just to inform you, on 19th, on the Dashera morning, India morning, Dashera, 19th, we'll not have a class. Tomorrow, we'll have a class, guys. Thank you so much. Goodbye.